Hey guys, Sundown Rider here. This is going to be my chapter review to Fairy Tale 538, When the Flame Extinguishes. At least I think it was called that. Alright, now I just want to quickly talk about chapter 537. There's only a couple things I actually remember because I ain't going to waste my time rereading that shit. But there's only a couple things I actually remember, and I just want to quickly go through that and what I thought of it. I know what the general opinion of it was, judging from the manga stream comments just by itself. So I don't think it went too well with the fans. But so what happened last chapter was we kind of see the resolution between Mavis and Zeref after all these years. They both basically end up dying. I think Zeref, what it was Zeref loves Mavis, Mavis loves Zeref, so they both end up killing each other. It's really weird. And they both just kind of ascend to it looks like they go to a good place, which is kind of not cool with Zeref. You know, the guy he's a freaking murderer at the end. I mean, like in the first part, when we first saw him, he wasn't really doing it on purpose, but now he was completely doing it on purpose. He was killing mans. So like I didn't like that part. But yeah, so what we see is Mavis and Zeref, they're interacting, and Mavis has all these contradicting feelings for Zeref because she still loves him, and she's all like, "Oh, I don't want you to die," and then in his head, well, she's like, "I want you to die," in her head, and she's like, "I don't want you to die." She's trying to hug him, she's kissing him, and all that shit. And I was looking at all this, and I was like, "Bitch, what are you doing? Like, legit, what is Mavis doing?" Because Mavis needs to understand, like, you can be a crazy ass bitch, okay? I don't mind. But if you gonna kill all my friends, if you gonna kill innocent people, if you gonna start a world war, basically, it doesn't matter what I think of you anymore. You gonna die. If I'm after you, you have to die. So Mavis in this situation, this is all hypothetical, by the way. If Mavis in this situation looks at Zeref, she's gotta be like, "You've done too much. I don't give a shit what your reason was. I have to kill you, and I don't care about it. I don't care about you at this moment." But she's all like, "Oh, I still love you," and all this. I understand it's all about this. Like, they're trying to get Hiro Mashima's trying to put across this whole contradicting thing because their curse of Angshuram thing is all about contradictions. But it was bullshit. I was like, man, I kind of liked it, but at the same time, I was like, this is stupid. This is so, and like, yeah, we can say this is unrealistic because I understand it's a magical world, but emotionally speaking, there's still, this you can still talk about emotions being realistic in this manga because that's not based on friggin' physics and stuff like that. And people who say that the magical aspects, like, that's not realistic, well, no shit. But the emotional stuff, like, that's all bullshit. I was like, really? You gonna do this now? So I know some people liked it. I know For Neverworld liked the first part. But I personally, although I was starting to like it, the more I thought about it, and like having had a few days thinking about it, I was like, that's utter bullshit. So then the worst part of the chapter was when Makarov, seemingly for no freaking reason, comes back to life. I was like, what? Well, we were all pretty much convinced at this point in time he's gone now. He hasn't even been addressed for the last couple chapters. And then Mavis is all like, "Oh yeah, Zeref, you killed Makarov. Oh, you asswipe. you dumb dickweed." And then he just randomly comes back to life when they die. I was like, what? What's that? So forget that shit. You know what? Let's just talk about 538. So you guys all know that happened. You know my feelings on it. Let's forget about it. All right. So 538. We get Lucy rewrite. Well, she's rewritten the book of END and she explicitly states she's written all of their memories of what they remember of Natsu. So Lucy, Gray, Happy, all those guys, what they know of Natsu, she's written down in the book. All right. So first off, I had a big issue with this because I've always had an issue with Lucy rewriting the book of END, and my first question was, what? What does this even mean that she rewrote the book with their memories? What the hell is that supposed to mean to the readers? Because we don't know what was even written in the book. We don't know what rewriting it can do. We know that it can save Natsu from current harm because it shows up, he's lost this body part or something like that, or there's an injury here, and all she does is rewrites it as in, he's okay, he's fine, he's got that body part back. But in writing their memories down in the book, what the shit was that ever gonna do for Natsu? Like, the reason why he survived the fight against Zeref, and why when the Book of END vanishes, Natsu's still there, is because Natsu accepted the fact that he's human, which was also bullshit, but I've already addressed that issue. But when he killed off his demon seed, that was all. That was when he kind of when the Book of END wasn't really attached to Natsu anymore. It had nothing to do with this rewriting shit that Lucy's been doing. The only thing she's been doing is saving his ass in the fight with Zeref, nothing else. But I seriously don't understand that. So if anybody out there knows what the hell that was about, let me know, because that whole rewriting the book with their memories of Natsu, that was all. I just didn't know what the hell was going on. What does that even mean to the readers? Because we don't know anything really about the Book of END apart from its connections to Natsu, and whether if you rewrite it while Natsu's in a fight, he can unleash his flames of wild emotion. So the other thing was, when was Lucy ever adept at this body link type magic, you know? But we already talked about that. And like I said, what does this even mean? It shouldn't change anything. We see Grey curing Lucy of her affliction, her demons. She's being afflicted by the rewriting the Book of END with some sort of demonic magic. Grey cures Lucy using his demon slaying magic, which I thought was actually pretty intelligent. I thought it seems to make sense. You know, he's a demon slayer. Any magic that's afflicting her of demon kind, he should be able to deal with. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like that. The Book of END disappears due to Zeref's death. Natsu's fine, like I said. I assume, like I said before, this is due to his acknowledgement of himself being a human and killing the demon seed. And I don't understand what Lucy's interaction with the Book of END in terms of rewriting it with their memories had anything to do with this. The first Hokage, the first what's her name? The first Guildmaster passes away, Mavis. Like I said before, none of us, I assume, most of you guys as well, and none of the characters really. I mean, Grey's all like, "Oh my god," and what's the name? Lucy and Happy, they're all like, "Oh my god," you know. But none of them really give a shit, because in reality they didn't know Mavis very well. We still don't. We know a bit more about Mavis. I mean, with Fairy Tail Zero, but I didn't read that, so they didn't know her very well. She didn't know them very well. She was already dead to them initially to begin with, and she only really popped out in these last two arcs. So really, she didn't have much of a bond with them, and she was a stupid-ass tactician for starters. So her passing doesn't really mean anything to me, and even if she has passed, the chances of her actually being dead once again are almost nil. But she's actually probably most likely dead. So Jelal, we see, didn't die because he had things left to do, and because he was saved by Ichiya and Anna. I feel like we've heard this so many times before with Jelal. There isn't anything new. I feel like I'm just bashing Fairy Tail at this moment, but it's just become so repetitive and so shit that I gotta call it up on its weak points. So I feel like we've heard this before with Jelal before. The fact that he didn't die because he had things left to do, he had things left to say, he had people to apologize for, he had to atone for his sins, all that shit. It's always like that with Jelal. The guy ain't gonna die until he friggin' apologizes to everyone in the world. So yeah, I didn't really mind about that. I like Jelal. I don't think he should die. But the fact that Ichiya and Anna killed Acnologia seemingly through pushing him into the ravines of time, I was like, this is bullshit. And I'm hoping through the end of this chapter that Acnologia comes back. That's my biggest wish so far. Hear me out, Hiromashima. You gotta do that shit. So then at the end, right before the end, we get an interaction between Natsu, Lucy, Happy, and Grey, and they're talking and walking towards the guild. And then Happy says something about announcing something with Natsu. I don't know if Natsu and Happy are gonna have kids or some shit. I don't know. No, that's nasty. But so Natsu disappears, and it's seemingly as a result of the Book of END dissipating, and everyone's initial thoughts are that Natsu's gone because the Book of END is gone. So Lucy's crying her eyes out. She says even though we rewrote it, suggesting her rewriting of the book was ever going to change the fact that once the book disappears, Natsu disappears. Now this is what I was saying before. This is why I was so pissed off at the beginning of this review. What does her having rewritten the book with their memories of Natsu have anything to do with him not disappearing? She was like, even though we rewrote it. I was like, where was the logic in that ever changing this scenario that we're in right now? It healed him then and there when he was fighting against Zeref, but how does that translate to when the book goes? So does Natsu. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm just ranting and you guys probably don't understand, but I'm assuming a lot of you will understand. So let me know what you guys think about that in the comments, because I'm still salty about that. So the other thing was, if she believes that Natsu, well, she'll obviously believe it, but if anybody else believes that Natsu is gone, the fans, you're stupid. You're straight. Because if Makarov came back this chapter, then there's no chance that Natsu is gone. Natsu is coming back. in like the next few chapters. He'll probably come back in the last chapter, just like as an, oh, he's still alive, ha ha ha. But Natsu's still alive. He's not gone. Don't take that at face value. And then at the end, we see Wendy kneeling on the floor, and a Garganta seems to be opening in the last panel above Wendy, like some ripping space time. Please be Acnologia. Please be Acnologia. I don't want him to have died because of Ichiya and Anna. Anna, who freaking ass pulled deluxe, was pulled out in the last like 4 chapters, maybe. Last 10 chapters, let's say. I don't want him to die because of Ichiya. Ichiya, I mean, he's all right. But he's not quality. I mean, he's not like the freaking Natsus, the Makarovs, the Laxuses, freaking Gildarts, all those types of characters. I mean, even Grey would have been fine. But nah, I can't accept this. I do not want Acnologia to have died like that. So I'm hoping that Garganta thing, that rip in space time, Garganta's in Bleach, by the way. I'm hoping that's gonna be Acnologia coming back and he'd be like, bitches, hey, what's up? But I'm hoping also, if it's Ulquiorra, bro, I'll be fine with that too. I don't even mind. So the next chapter is called World Collapse. You can take from that what you want. Just from the name of the chapter alone, it sounds like it could be Acnologia. But if it's Acnologia, Natsu's got to come back double time. So the next chapter could be pretty good by the sounds of things. It sounds like things are going to get pretty mixed up and people are going to get pretty toasty. But yeah, so I did not like this chapter at all. In terms of the interactions, the fact that Natsu's gone, that's cool, but it has no impact on any reader at this moment in time. No one really cares because he's gonna come back anyway. No one's afraid of a main character dying in this manga. Someone in the manga stream comments commented on all these villains and stuff that have died in the manga, like Zancro, freaking Hades, and all these guys. And I'm just like, that's cool. Yeah, people do die in this manga. That's fine. But when has it ever been someone pivotal to the story? Hades isn't that cool. He was a main kind of evil villain, but he wasn't pivotal to the story. If he had stayed alive, he wouldn't have changed the course of the story. So the fact that he died didn't really mean shit. Mavis and Zeref, like, they literally just died. But even they, I mean, Mavis played very, very little role in this whole war arc. She's the worst tactician. I mean, like, jeez, forget that shit. Zeref dying, okay, that's a main death because he's the main antagonist. Acnologia dying, I don't want that to have happened like that. But most of the deaths in this manga, they're not very, they don't mean anything to the story. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Let me know what you guys thought, because I really, really want to know what you guys thought of this whole Lucy thing, because I was confused as to what she thought would happen, so or what Hiro Mashima was trying to say that she thought happened. But let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and I will see you guys later tonight when I put up my Nanatsu no Taizai review.